For the second time, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the weekly vidIQ live stream. My name is Rob, and if this is your first time here, I do apologise, or if this is your second, third, 100th time here, I do apologise for the slight lack of quality you might see in the live stream in terms of camera and whatnot today, because I am on my travels. I am back in the UK. I'm not in the vidIQ studio, but I was determined to get this live stream up and running today with my guests and colleagues and friends here for the final vidIQ live stream of the season, where we do, of course, look at your channels, and we're also going to be looking at the YouTube year in review. So folks, if you are joining this live stream, do say hello, and we'll do some shout outs in a few seconds. But first of all, shout outs to Liron Segev and Jeremy Vest. We've got the band back together. Gentlemen, how are you today? Yeah, so folks, just to let you know that I live in Vancouver, but I've travelled back to the UK, which is 8 hours ahead of where I usually am. So I didn't get any sleep last night, but yeah, I'm doing well. I'm slightly in a zen state of not really understanding what's going on with the world at all. But yeah, as I say, I want to get this live stream up and running. So we're going to say some shout outs to Breakbuster04041, and Minitube, Octorus, The Indie Gamer, Mr. Gaming, Zden, Mega Scorpio, Lyroes, ARS Analog, PFE269. Hello to all of you, and thank you very much for joining us on the live stream today. And what I wanted to do as part of the final live stream of the year, because of course it is Christmas and New Year on the following 2 Tuesdays, and we will be taking a little bit of R&R here at vidIQ for those 2 days, I wanted to bring in some questions for both Liron, Jeremy and the audience here to get your thoughts on the year in review of YouTube, as well as auditing some of your channels this week. So gentlemen, first of all, the first question I wanted to ask you in terms of YouTube in 2018 is, what would you say was the biggest news story? And when I say that, it could be about anything regarding YouTube, whether it's a feature change or a significant change to the algorithm, or a story such as the subscriber counts with PewDiePie. What would you say has been the biggest, has had the biggest impact on the ecosystem as a whole? Okay, I'm just getting some words here that we're getting no audio from both Jeremy and Liron, which is fantastic. So folks, I do apologise for this technical error as always. Another one, let's see if we can get this working. I think I'm going to be able to get this working if I go to that one. Just try again, folks.
All right,
there we go. We can hear you this time. All right, so Jeremy gave us an awesome answer here, and sorry everybody. Yeah, we're just trying to get this.
My answer.
We're actually just trying to get all this set up, but it should now be working. I think we can hear everybody. So
do you want to say it again?
No, Jeremy, it was fantastic, but we just haven't got time for you. So Liron, no, we'll go back to you in a second, Jeremy. So Liron, what do you think had the biggest impact on YouTube? We've seen stuff here such as Logan Paul coming up in Article 13, but yeah, what are your thoughts on the biggest news story on YouTube this year?
So I think the fact that the ads... Okay, that is Jeremy's answer. I'm not going to take
but nobody heard that one, so you can just repeat it verbatim if you want.
To be honest, it was the topic I hated the most, which was the T-Series versus PewDiePie disaster that's still going on.
Yeah, you've got some pretty forthright opinions on all of this, haven't you? In terms of many channels getting hundreds of thousands of views from simply live streaming sub counts, whereas video creators such as yourself working really hard and spending hours putting content together and not getting the same exposure. So yeah, just maybe give us an insight into how you feel as a video creator when you see that sort of thing happening. As as PG as you can.
Well, as PG as I can. This is going to be very difficult, but yeah, essentially, it's almost a bit of a blow to kind of people who are putting in a lot of this time, effort, and many of our customers on this line who are really kind of trying their best and really putting out amazing content, and are getting maybe a handful of views, or a couple of hundred, or a couple of thousand views, and there you have a counter, which is essentially going PewDiePie versus T-Series, and it's getting 1 million minutes of watch time. This is just insanity in itself. But in all fairness, the other side of the coin is that it has focused a lot of attention on how YouTube can get together, how people can rally behind the specific cause. So this whole T-Series versus PewDiePie has really brought a lot of the community together. Even if you weren't a fan of PewDiePie, we've seen how big YouTubers have come out to support him, just to kind of almost win this race of some description. So I think that made quite a big impact for us this year, and it's been very interesting for us as a vidIQ, as a data analytics company, to kind of read between the lines and what goes on behind the scenes, and how this is really kind of affecting or going to affect our vision for 2019. So stay tuned for more to come, as they say.
I think that's a really good tiny point in all of this. I think during this subscriber count race, PewDiePie did a charity live stream, and I forget the numbers. I think it was around about $250,000 that was raised for charities, I think in India, from what I can remember. So yeah, and that's almost been forgotten about. So Jeremy, if we move back to you, if you could just paraphrase what you said earlier on for our audience. It was to do with adverts and how the advert ecosystem has changed on YouTube in 2018.
Yeah, I just think advertisers earlier this year boycotted YouTube altogether. They're tired of getting their videos and their ads ran against terrorism and all kinds of other crazy stuff, and they weren't going to have that anymore. That was the snowball effect that happened to demonetization, and requires you now to have 4,000 hours watched and 1,000 subscribers so that they can better monitor what channels are had ads running. So it really changed YouTube 100%. Like it really was like 180 degrees compared to this time last year, in my opinion. And I think that's probably, to me, the biggest story as far as how advertisers and brands work with YouTube.
Yeah, and that all really came about at the beginning of the year, didn't it? Especially with the Logan Paul controversy, which kind of polarized the shift that was already happening from YouTube. I think many people like to blame Logan Paul exclusively for this, but I think that just brought it into sharp focus. And then on the flip side, we see in this latest list of YouTube earners, there are more YouTubers earning more money than ever before, but that doesn't necessarily translate itself into the everyday creator who's on this live stream now. Some of the comments that were coming through on other big changes. Article 13 is obviously one that's being proposed, which could be huge in 2019. And there's people asking about YouTube features such as YouTube Premieres, and we're actually going to ask a dedicated question on that a little later about what have been the biggest changes in terms of the YouTube platform. But yeah, folks, if you have any thoughts on any other big changes that you noticed in YouTube this year, other than what we've just heard from both Leron and Jeremy, do let us know in the comments, and I will certainly read them out. I mean, Super Rizzo Gamer saying PewDiePie versus T-Series is pretty big, and I think what's helped with that is that the story has just been ongoing and ongoing. I remember we first started our subcount live stream 2 months ago, thinking it was going to be over within a week, and 2 months later it's still going as strongly. I think PewDiePie has a bigger advantage than he ever has done in that race.
So a good one from Shadow Channel 1. He says the biggest story for him has to be the fact that his channel hit 500 subs, and that is a big one.
Oh yeah, congratulations. Well, stop the presses, hold back the headlines. That is the new one. Yeah, I mean, let's jump into this topic then. Let's talk about everybody's success stories in 2018? Like, what was the biggest milestone you achieved? And we'll certainly read them out. Liron, I know you recently passed 10,000 subscribers on your channel. Delighted to get the community tab before realizing that YouTube then released it to everybody anyway. How would you rate your channel in terms of, give it a mark out of 10 for 2018, and why?
So I've made a kind of dramatic changes in 2018. I was going a certain direction and that wasn't working. And it's one of those things that you got to take a good stop and a hard look at yourself and say, what am I doing? What's my vision for the next kind of 6 months? And I decided to really double down on specific types of content, double down on stress and strategy, including a big one being thumbnails, including being better titling, and all of those kind of really affects, and it makes a big difference. And the channel literally doubled in size, if I should say, in a couple of months after doing that, which again proves to us one more time that YouTube algorithm's real. You know, when they say don't make variety channels, they're not joking. I mean, we have data that proves that knowing that once you kind of focus on specific items, your channel really starts to take off because YouTube knows how to help you. And contrary to popular belief, YouTube actually wants to help you and wants you to grow because it wants to serve your videos to the right audience. But if you're doing lots of different stuff, YouTube can't really be your friend. So now that I know that, well, it's onwards and bigger stuff coming up now.
Certainly. Carissa Lee, you say you just hit 350 subs. Congratulations to you. Froster GH, 15,000 subscribers this year. Congratulations to you. The Bushcraft Padawan, you've hit both 1,000 and 2,000 subscribers this year. So by default, you've increased your channel by at least 100%, which is awesome to hear. Angelus hitting 21,000 subscribers, so really big successes on channels here. Last but not least, Jeremy, I'm going to say dabbled a little bit with your own channel, where you've used it before to do a little bit of testing and hosted a podcast there, but you've actually experimented with some videos, and I know you had 1 or 2 breakthrough videos, including a hashtag one. So is there anything that you've, what would you say is your success as a video creator this year?
I would say I've have billions of views for the customers in the last decade, helping do YouTube strategy, and I consider myself a YouTuber, but I was never really a creator. And Evan Carmichael, near the beginning of the year, really told me what I was doing wrong. Basically, before, I was just scared of the camera, and I would do 1 or 2 takes and I'd suck. And he was like, do 37 takes of the same video and then start recording it. And basically what he was telling me is, if you do 1 push-up a day, you're never going to be able to do 100 push-ups, right? He really was basically saying you have to get used to being on camera before you're good on camera. It's not about the fear. It's about getting over the fear and honestly getting to a point to where you're comfortable on camera. Being on camera for most people is weird. It's awkward. It's not natural.
Yeah.
So getting past that just awkwardness stage on the camera was a big deal for me. My channel is I just play around with it. It's not a real, serious channel by any means, but I should hit 4,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So it's pretty cool. It's a lot of fun.
Cool. Congratulations. And a few more success stories coming in here. We're hearing that ARS Analog's hoping to reach 400 subscribers by the end of the year. Mistia Gaming has gone from 0 to 284 subscribers this year, and the first 10, 100, 1,000 subscribers are always the most difficult, so congratulations to you there. And any other success stories we have here? Indie Gamers started this year but haven't had enough time due to work. But you have still cracked 100 subscribers, and if you think about it, in the real world, that would be a hall full of people, or a bar full of people who've decided to click on that red button and subscribe to our channel. So all awesome success stories there. Right, what we're going to do is look at our first channel audits of this live stream. So I'm going to press some buttons on my screen, folks. I do apologize if things go blank or dark for a second. They should hopefully come back soon, so I just need to click that button.
Rob,
yes.
Whilst you're playing with your gadgets over there,
yes.
Just one thing I want to address in the comments here is people are saying, I only have 100 subscribers, I only have 20, or only have whatever. The one thing that we always say is that when you're growing your channel, or you're starting out your channel, it's not about you're trying to build an audience that likes your stuff. It's more important to focus on delivering content that people want to watch, and then your subscribers will count. I see a lot of mistakes people are doing, and when I do all these channel audits, they're so fixated on that number, it's actually blinding them from achieving that kind of goal. So everybody that's here in the channel and everyone's here on the chat that's just starting out, don't worry about those numbers. Worry about getting better on camera. Worry about delivering much better content. Worry about that, and then your subscribers will come. At the beginning, you have that luxury of basically sucking on camera, and that's fine. You'll get better and better the more you do. So I just want to kind of address that, because a lot of people are getting down, say, I give up, I've only got 20 subscribers or whatever it is. It's not about that.
And remember this, folks. Every single video creator who has started a channel has had exactly the same number of subscribers as you at some point in their journey. And beyond YouTube, there are these, like, I guess, these human characteristics of patience, determination, the ability to face adversity, and all of those are things that are really magnified on YouTube as you try and go through that evolution of just starting a channel and enjoying making videos to actually trying to build an audience. And yeah, absolutely, I echo exactly what you say there, Jeremy, Leron. So both Leron and Jeremy, can you confirm that you can see my screen?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so the first channel we're going to look at, and folks, by the way, if you do want your channel audited today, we have a link in the live stream description. If you fill it out, you may have a chance to get your channel audited a little later on. The first channel we're looking at is, let's see, it is Jomama 1973. I think you've hidden your subscriber count, so I can't see what it is. And Leron or Jeremy, tell everybody. Oh no, sorry, you can't. Sorry, my screen is a little obscured here. So you have 96 subscribers. So pre-congratulations on hitting 100 subscribers very soon, I would assume. And what I can see is that it looks to be a Minecraft channel. The video creator has put themselves on the channel banner, which is great to see. And a bit of a value proposition as well here, because all gamers love pixels, and then he pixelated your face, which I think is a neat little touch as well. Any thoughts here generally, folks, about the thumbnails and maybe where this video creator is going with their channel?
Go ahead, Leron.
So a gaming channel, I'm assuming, because old gamers love pixels. Love that. That's a cool title. Yeah, the subscriber count is definitely there, which is cool. Never, ever, ever, ever hide your subscriber count. Doesn't matter how many subscribers you've got. It always sends out a very dodgy message if you're hiding it. We like to know how many people are on this channel. So that's cool that you're doing that. I'm assuming this is a Minecraft kind of channel.
Looks
from what I can see. Yeah, great. Look at the titles. Starting every title with the word Minecraft. Beautiful.
Brilliant. Yep, good.
Nicely done. Let's look at kind of a little bit of a thumbnails. So is Vector, sorry, what is Vector?
Vector Punch, yes. That's a good question.
I don't know what that means. So if I don't know what that means as an audience member, I'm kind of a bit confused about that. I see your logo is there top left, so it's always consistent. That seems to be pretty cool. You've got things like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know, are these supposed to be like a series? Like, do I have to watch 1 before I watch 2, 3, 4, and 5? I'm always a bit nervous about putting things like numbers on a thumbnail, because the message that it sends to me is, oh, this must be a series. Got to watch, oh, you're up to 11 already. Yeah. Means I've got to watch the first. And then at the bottom, I see these 42 and 41. So now I think I'm going to watch 42 movies. Just be very careful. Just be very, very careful that when you put numbers on your thumbnails, that it actually isn't doing you a disservice and sending people away because they're just not getting what these videos are about.
I'm guessing Vector Punch must be some sort of modification or variant of Minecraft, since it seems to be coming up. I mean, again, credit to the video creators including Vector Punch and Minecraft at the beginning of all their keywords, which I think is great. Any further thoughts to add there, Jeremy, or do you think Leron's done a pretty good job?
I think you guys covered it.
Yeah. So as I think that just a tweaking of the thumbnails, maybe deciding whether you want the episode number in there. I think I would say as well that there seems to be a bit too much repetition. That logo and that vector punch, my eyes just seem to be constantly drawn to it because it's a bright yellow and red image, which kind of detracts from the rest of the thumbnail a little bit, in my opinion, of course. But generally speaking, I think you've got some good fundamentals there. Joe Mama 1973, and congratulations in advance on 100 subscribers. Next channel is Dragon Lord Leader. This channel has 5,000 subscribers, and I think Jeremy and later on we can get a good idea just from the channel banner without seeing any of the thumbnails what the channel is about. Certainly seems to be something along the lines of science fiction, Marvel, action comic type content. But then looking down at the thumbnails, I think this is where there's potentially some opportunities for improvement. So rather than nominating Leron to take the reins here, Jeremy, over to you for this one.
I guess my first question is, are you using copyrighted material?
And that's something you're always very hot on, isn't it, when looking at channels?
Well, I mean, it's one of those things that a lot of new creators don't realize that it's just a real good chance to be deleted from YouTube. So why put in all this effort if you're just going to get 3 strikes and you're out completely?
And
now
these thumbnails
that doesn't always happen, but
yeah, these thumbnails don't look to be modified, do they? Either they just look to be straight images cut from, like the Aquaman for example, looks to be a straight cut from some of their publicity content, I would suggest.
And like the 5th video over, it looks like a straight video straight from TikTok. Which, by the way, if you guys aren't using TikTok, it's really a big platform. I mean, if you're using something like Instagram, you need to be on TikTok. It's a big deal, especially for musicians. But yeah, I mean, without looking at the content, I assume you're taking other people's content, and that is going to be a short life on YouTube. If you're not, if you're really making your own content from these topics, good for you. Make sure you're not using a lot of clips, from other people's content. And, I would try to have consistency on the thumbnails. And then on the banner, even though I like the banner, I still really don't know what you do. Music videos and montages for your entertainment, I get that. But I wonder if there's a better way of saying it.
Yeah.
Like, for example, what is a music video and montage? Like, I don't know what that really means. Like, break it down exactly what you do.
Yeah. I was just... looks as if... oh, hang on. Continue. All right, that's still working. So what I was noting here is that the channel's got 3 million views, so I'm guessing there must be some viral content that they've had here potentially, which if my computer manages to get through this live stream will show us what's going on. So yeah, it looks as if there's one video here that's got 2.5 million views, and then a few more with tens of thousands of views. And yeah, I would echo your thoughts here, Jeremy, in that YouTube are getting very hot on what's called content farming, whereby it's a channel or a platform, a channel that's just getting content from elsewhere, and even if it's fair use, even if it's free to use, YouTube does not like that content anyway, and it's unlikely that it'll be monetized. I don't know if you've had any of these problems yet, Dragon Lord Leader, but I think that's sort of the route we're going down here, whereby... And I guess from Leron's perspective, this might be one of those where, again, you're seeing this content where how much effort, and as a video creator, how are you creating unique content here, or are you just getting the rewards from other people's efforts? And I know we're jumping to complete conclusions here. I think what might be best is if we maybe just quickly look at one of these videos just to determine if this is original content or lifted content. So again, I'll just wait for it to refresh, and then we'll have a look. Let's choose that's from the oldest ones. Just refresh. Oh man, it's so frustrating going to an older computer again. Ugh. I think we're all in need of upgrades in 2019. Let's go there. All right, let's try Red Dead Redemption 2 and see what we get here. So I can see what there is a watermark in the bottom left-hand corner. So I don't know if that means that you're taking content and compiling it together. So like this is music that you've selected yourself, and then clips from different parts of the gameplay and put together yourself. I guess that's more acceptable, but then at the same time, again, how much of it is your own content? So I think this is a good topic to look at in terms of what's original content and what's copyright content. But yeah, certainly thanks Jeremy and Leron for your opinions there on what may be content that's not necessarily appropriate in the long term. Alright, what we're going to do now is take another 2018 year in review question, and the next one I wanted to ask you both is, and I'm asking this to the audience as well, and we'll take your thoughts here. What do you think has been the biggest, best, or even the worst, whichever you think, new tool to arrive on YouTube in 2018? So I'll just throw out some ideas for you. So we've had YouTube premieres, we've had hashtags, we've had the creator beta studio that's come in, we've just recently had YouTube stories, the community tab reaching more people, so a wider audience to share their content. Is there anything that of those that really jumps out at you as new YouTube tools in 2018?
For me personally, it's click-through rate in the new studio beta. Seeing visually, being able to see how well your thumbnails, your impressions to clicks, the click-through rate on thumbnails, I think is really life-changing for a lot of creators. Also, I've noticed just a ton of creators are now being educated in understanding that how long people watch their videos, how good their titles are, and their thumbnails being the third most important part. YouTube's really telling creators, hey, this is what's important. You know, watch time, titles, and thumbnails. Those are like the three things that are going to make or break you. And by YouTube putting in these tools really helps creators in general focus on these things. And I think it's a big leap forward. So
very much analytics there from Jeremy. Leron, what about yourself?
So I think the community tab, I think that's massive. The reason for it is that we've seen when you engage with your community and when your community kind of responds back, and when you put polls, you put links to your old videos, all of that stimulates lots and lots and lots of growth on your channel. And when you collab with other people and you share other people's content on your channel, it just sends all good positive vibes to YouTube, and YouTube loves your channel even more. So I think making a community tab even bigger is a big thing. Of course, it's open to abuse because every time you post on your community, people get notified. So we just got to be careful we don't do ourselves a disservice by spamming our own audiences. But I'm loving this community tab, and I think that's very, very positive. The one thing that's absolutely weird for me is hashtags. I do not understand why they went that route. It just makes no sense.
Yeah, we had a very successful video on that topic, if you remember, back in the middle of summer. But yeah, I think you're absolutely right. The judgment seems to be on hashtags, is that they're a billboard for taking viewers away from your own content because of the way YouTube aggregates the actual hashtag searches. And I think I'm in agreement with you, Leron, in terms of the community tab. I'll just give you an example of what's happened here on vidIQ, and I would love to have the analytics for the community tab. When I was doing voting polls this time last month, we were maybe getting 1,000 to 2,000, sorry, 1,000 to 2,000 voting poll results. And in the last week, when I've been doing voting polls, we've been getting responses of 15 to 20,000, which means that YouTube is sharing our community posts amongst a much wider audience than usual. And whether that's because of the PewDiePie content that we've been doing, which we've been having success with, it's incredible to see just the potential reach and power you have with the community tab. And as Leron says, with great power comes great responsibility, and you need to use it responsibly. I was just reading some comments that were coming through here. Some people are dissing the stories, the new YouTube stories tool that's recently come out. Leron and Jeremy, have you had any access to this yet as a creator? I'm sure you've seen it as a user.
No.
I haven't. Even though I've got 10,000 limit,
Yeah.
I'm very bitter and twisted about this. Not sure that I will use it, don't get me wrong, but I still want it. Damn it, I've worked hard for this.
So have you got any general thoughts, either of you, then on how it's working at the moment, stories? Because we used it a little bit. I've just not really had time to get into it. It gives you the analytics of how many views you have, which is good. And there's one fantastic feature whereby if you see if somebody posts a comment on stories, you can tap on that comment and reply immediately with a story, which I think is fantastic. But I still think there's a lot that YouTube needs to do to really make it work. So yeah, any thoughts from you two about stories in particular?
I think that YouTube is, and Google has always sucked at social media. Let's just be honest, right? They've been horrible at it.
Yeah.
But they did something smart, and a lot of people don't even catch this. So Instagram is a big social platform, and so is Facebook, and they both have stories. You know, when Instagram launched stories, they basically pretty much stole it completely from Snapchat. They fundamentally undercut Snapchat because now stories on Instagram is more used than stories on Snapchat. So fundamentally, what Facebook and Instagram did is they stole the best kind of social media thing happening in the world, or borrowed. I don't know if I should use the word steal. That's kind of harsh, but hey, they took what they were doing and now they're doing it. And YouTube's done the same thing. So what's going to happen is, you know, most users on mobile are on mobile devices on YouTube. The majority of people that watch videos are on mobile devices. So if YouTube's really intelligent, which they are, I think what's going to happen is because you've used Instagram, because you've used Facebook, you're going to open up that YouTube app and just naturally do stories and not even think about it. It's just part of your daily life. If you're doing it on Instagram, you're doing it on Facebook, you're doing it on Snapchat, what's the difference? So hopefully they're going to kind of force that interaction from when you launch that app. And it's just a natural, it's like you've been doing it for 40 years because, you know, Instagram already exists. So I think that stories could be huge. And I think it's relative to, you know, if people adapt it or not.
Yeah. Any quick thoughts on the new Creator Studio before I take some comments from our audience here?
Well, everybody loves the new studio. It's got so much value, so much analytics that they're just becoming so good and giving us the stuff that we want. And I think that's a new twist and a new turn in the way YouTube's handling its creators. They finally listened and they finally want more, and they finally understand the kind of content and the kind of analytics that we're looking for, and they're just trying to make it better and better, easier and easier for us to get the data so we can make better content and serve our audience better. So I'm really enjoying it, and we know what's coming next, especially from a vidIQ point of view. So I'm very excited when we get to share this as it launches.
Yep. Jeremy?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's awesome. Like Leron said, I'm excited to announce some stuff, some secret stuff. Thank you for the super chat that we just got in. Jaina.
Awesome. Who is that? So Jaina, and what she's saying? So it's not coming up on my screen.
She didn't say anything. We just got
awesome.
a super chat.
Thank you.
So thank you very much.
She just loves us and wants to make sure that we know that.
We really do appreciate it. On Song International says, since you changed the thumbnails on our advice, click-through rate has increased 1.4% over the month, which is awesome to hear. But it's awesome to know that you have the access to those analytics to be able to find that out through the new Creator Studio, which is great. Saunders Tech says stories as a user isn't that bad, and I think I agree. I think the thing I like about stories is that it's not too invasive. I think stories do occasionally appear on people's feeds, but you have to go to the stories circular bubbles at the top of your subscription feed, usually to go through all of them. So I think it's good in that sense that it's not. It's yet another form of video distribution on YouTube, but it's not overtaking the standardized way of a YouTube video works. And I'm just seeing if there's any more. So yeah, the super chat's just come through there. So thank you, Yana, for the $1.99. I'm just seeing if there's any more comments here about. So a couple of people now asking, should they take hashtags off their videos? I think you're probably overthinking it and splitting hairs about how much of a detriment they have. I mean, if they are there, maybe let's say you get 1,000 views, maybe 1 or 2 people may click on those hashtags. I think the people who are using it best are people like I've forgotten his name now. It's Connor R1. What's his name? Cody R1, who's using the no small creator hashtag, and I think that's a really effective one because he's building a movement around that, and he's not trying to just promote his own content there. It's a movement of people trying to create content through that message. Leron, I heard you just snigger there. Did you have something to add there, or were you just
I think for when it comes to hashtags, there's two sides to the equation, right? The idea with hashtag is that if you're going to label your video as something like Fortnite, and you're trying to get views from other people watching other Fortnite videos or other tech videos or other whatever videos, what I like to do as a pro tip is I've created my own hashtag that's only for my channel.
Yeah.
For me, it's the techie guy, and it goes on to all my videos. And the idea with that, if somebody clicks on it, they're just going to see my content. So what Cody is doing, he's trying to build a movement outside of his channel.
Yeah.
And that's great, not knocking the strategy, but I'm saying for the rest of us, I like to kind of stay on channel, because YouTube rewards you when people are watching lots more of your own content. So I just use hashtag, made it unique, and it seems to be working. Not that we can tell because there's no analytics. So
yeah, true. Yeah, and well, there is actually. You can if you go into the YouTube search analytics, it will tell you how many people are finding your content through a hashtag, but it doesn't necessarily tell you how many people are clicking on a hashtag from one of our videos.
Right.
And one final tip, if you do make the most successful video about hashtags on YouTube, be prepared for other video creators not understanding your video and using your unique hashtags such as vidIQ on completely random content, which means that your stuff doesn't appear, which is what's happened. If you do a search for hashtag vidIQ, you will find some really interesting videos. All right, we're going to go back into some channel audits here. So if I once again just click the correct buttons here.
Just a quick one. Someone's asking, where do you see stories? It's only available on the app, and you can only create them on the app, but only if the gods of YouTube have granted you pleasure and access to stories. I think no, I'm not bitter and I'm not twisted about it.
I think it's rolled out to tens of thousands of video creators at this point, and I'm sure that it'll roll out to a lot more people. Bear in mind, folks, YouTube Stories has been in beta for a long time. I wanted this feature this time last year, and I was wondering when it was going to come out, and it finally did, to pretty much everybody. Well, not everybody, a lot of creators at the same time. All right, gentlemen, can you see my screen once again?
Yep.
Right, okay, I will switch us back to the channel reviews.
You Mine can't. Is not refreshed. That's okay.
Hopefully
Mine's
we'll
slower
be
in Texas.
All right then, JC Cubes. I think there's some fundamental things that we can probably give you the video creator a bit of help on here. Let's pick one each. I will go for the very obvious one. There is no channel banner JC Cubes, JCG Cubes, so you need to fix that first. Jeremy, pick out another suggestion here.
Theme. You need to pick up one thing and stick to it.
Yep. Leron, next potential improvement.
Just thumbnails. I don't know what your thumbnails are representing.
There's a big contrast, not only in colour but in terms of style and design, between T-Series versus PewDiePie, and then whatever Cube King's Villa Nuva Open is, or whatever that is.
Yeah, and remember, if you're going to have text on your screen, just always make sure that you can fire up your mobile phone and that everything is nice and visible.
Absolutely.
And it's nice and clear. Because here you might have the most amazing video, but yeah, I just don't know what it says. Oh, it looks like a Rubik's Cube floating in the middle there. So it's all just a little bit overwhelming. So maybe just simplify things. Let's not overthink it. Just tell us what the video is about.
All right, so you are at the very beginning of your journey, JCG Cubes. Let's just see how many videos you've done in total. All right, so yeah, you're a month in, and I would say to already gain nearly 40 subscribers and have at least one video with triple digits views. I think that's a great start. And it looks as if you may have a theme down here with Cube Kings. You've gone a little off topic really with PewDiePie vs T-Series, but a lot of people are experimenting with that topic at the moment. So I think generally a good start, and yeah, just take on the advice that we've given you there. Next channel is Lyrios. I don't know if I pronounced that right at all. The world revolves around me. Pretty ambitious claim there for your channel. I'm just going to see what it's about. If you're new here, I'm sorry. Okay, so the description doesn't really tell us what it's about. I would be thinking this channel might be about I don't know, cityscapes or skyscrapers or some sort of travel blog just from looking at the channel banner. When we move into the thumbnails themselves, it looks to be maybe a prank and almost like a drama alert type channel perhaps, which a few people have accused vidIQ of turning into recently, but I do assure you we'll be having a lot more tips and tricks and guides videos in 2019. I think some good stuff here. The channel has 400 subscribers and the thumbnails seem fairly powerful and have strong imagery, whatever the topic is. Title wise, I think they're trying to follow trends here. Picking up anything strongly here, either Jeremy or Liron, as I scroll down?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely a shocking BuzzFeed style channel.
Yeah.
I think things like, if you're new here, I'm sorry, and the banner and all that stuff really does play into the Logan Paul-ish style, shock, like shock and awe type channels. So obviously, using clickbaity titles and thumbnails. Thumbnails are phenomenal, by the way, especially like the angry one and lazy and silly and fake one. Very, very productive, very like emotion, engagement, excitement. Thumbnails are phenomenal. The only thing I would say on the thumbnails is you just need color consistency so people can tell they're your thumbnails versus someone else's. You can build a theme and a brand. But YouTube Rewind 2018 is great. I mean, obviously, polarization works extremely well on YouTube. The only thing I would say, and we haven't watched any of your videos, is just make sure you deliver. If you deliver on a shock title, then it's not clickbait. If you don't deliver, then it's not going to work out for you.
All right, so much information there, Jeremy. I think I'll leave that channel there because the next one is more down Liron's street here. Saunders Tech, obviously a tech channel which looks as if it's aimed at Apple or iOS devices. 1,500 subscribers, well, 1,400 subscribers. What could we sort of see here? Okay, so this is one of these interesting ones. Immediately what I'm looking at here is one of those channels where you're never quite sure if what the advice and tips and tricks they're giving you are on the right side of the fence. I'm looking at how to get paid App Store apps for free, which sounds like potentially illegal content, movie box alternatives, new emulators. So is this something that you've ever sort of had to skirt the lines with? Not that I'm saying that any of your content would be inappropriately wrong, but yeah, how does this technology channel tread this fine line when stuff like this comes up? Have I
Liron, are you there?
Oh, I think he's just dropped out there, Liron.
He really didn't like your question.
No, he was so disgusted by the question that he just decided to leave. Okay, so I think it's up to me here. Yeah, I think I would just be careful. I don't think you're necessarily going to get copyright strikes from YouTube because of the content, but I have seen whereby Apple have actually asked for community strikes on channels, even where it's something along the lines of how to get access to beta profiles for downloading apps and things. So you will have to be really careful with this sort of content. I know there are big channels out there that have been very successful with this, but yeah, something certainly to keep an eye on. In terms of like presentation, I think the thumbnails have some consistency. You're always showing like the iOS number, which I think uniquely ties some of your content together. Thumbnail wise, they seem relatively strong. You're always taking a picture of like what's the focus. Maybe it could be a little more zoomed in on some of these thumbnails. I'm looking at the ones such as how to bypass restrictions and panda help. We're not entirely sure what the focus is there on those screenshots, but I think there's certainly some good things here, and you have a healthy channel, a healthy audience. Is there any tiny things here, Jeremy, you could add in Leron's absence, generally speaking?
Yeah, no, I think it's good. I do think there are some topography similarities in the thumbnails.
Yeah.
But I still probably wouldn't pick out, like, because it's not the same background color and it's not as consistent, I wouldn't know one thumbnail from another. Like,
Right.
I wouldn't know this channel from another.
Right. Okay. I guess also another thing is that there's some of the thumbnails are almost a little too consistent. Looking at this one, how to get paid apps, and this one, bypass restrictions. It's almost exactly the same imagery. You wouldn't necessarily tell they're about different things, with the exception of the text that you have there. Okay, Leron's just sending us a message. He's lost us, but Leron is now having that, I should say, goodbye, because he has to do a private channel audit now. Which is something that he is the expert on here at vidIQ. Jeremy and I just do it in our spare time. And what we're going to do now with the time that we have left here is we're going to take some Q&A from you folks. So if you do have any questions for us in these final moments on this live stream, the last one of 2018, then certainly do bring them up. Jeremy, are you still there? I think I've lost Jeremy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Jeremy.
No, I'm here.
Yeah,
I'm here.
Jeremy is here. I thought I'd lost him for a second. It's because he's not appearing on my screen for some reason. Let's see if I can fix that. It's probably
While you're fixing that, Octorius asks, Jeremy, when you reviewed my channel a few months back, you said to reduce the size of my fonts. Just going to say that I haven't shrunk them, as my click-through rate was at the time 11%. Thanks anyways. Okay, well, that's cool. We all have our own opinions. The only thing I would say, guys, is if you want to improve, you just need to test.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
If you've got 11% click-through rate, you're good. Like, cool. However, don't be afraid to test. Like, everyone, even the best YouTube, the biggest YouTubers in the world call people like me and Rob all the time. Evan Carmichael blows me up all the time because he always wants to make sure that he's doing the best possible job possible. So the biggest YouTubers I know in the world are the most humble people I've ever met, because they know that things change every single day.
Yeah, I think also is that there are probably millions of video creators out there, and our advice is not going to fit. It's sometimes going to be square pegs in round holes.
Absolutely.
And sometimes it's fundamentals, and there are times where a video creator has moved beyond those fundamentals, and by being unique, almost going against the trend, that can be what sets their channel apart. I think there's been an example recently which I really need to make a video about, which is man eating food. And this channel just defies all conventions of what a channel should be. In fact, I'm gonna let's bring it up just as an example.
While you're bringing it up, super user Tech Mods says that our audits on his thumbnails when he went from 4.3% to 7.3%, thanks to our efforts. So that's awesome. Well done, sir.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Congratulations, super user. Okay, I just need to get Jeremy back on this screen. Jeremy, confirm you can see that one?
Yes.
Yes. So this is the one I wanted to show here. So, folks, in terms of like fundamentals, no channel banner first of all. The videos are less than a minute long, every single one of them. There are no custom thumbnails on any of these. It's just a freeze frame of the image. There doesn't really seem to be any attempt to apply keyword research or make it searchable content, and yet each of these videos is literally a man putting some sort of food into ice cream, like granola, raisins, pear, and taking one bite from it, and that is the entire video. And this guy's got 22,000 subscribers, and I'm sure if he was continuing to make videos today, he seems to be having a break at the moment. It's like this defies all convention. Like, and I don't think there's even an about section there. So yeah, for some channels, and I think for all video creators, at the end of the day, content is always going to trump the advice we can give you in setting up your channel. And I think this is just some unique content that really resonates with its audience. So that's an example, folks. If you want to go find it, it's Man Eats Food with some just really intriguing stuff there. I mean, yeah, I guess, Jeremy, if this person asks for a consultation from you, you just say, "Well, I can't help you. You're doing things completely the opposite of how I would do. Just keep doing what you're doing because it seems to work."
If you do me a favor, Robin, type in harmonize beauty, like harmonize beauty. Yeah, harmonize. Yeah, the second one.
Yep.
So this is a friend of mine, uploaded a couple of videos. She just started putting in thumbnails. To this date, she hasn't even put in a real thumbnail. She started just uploading videos straight from Instagram.
Wow.
And then, you know, no banner, nothing. And then she woke up one day, like 2-3 months later, and was like, "Oh, I have 100,000 subscribers."
Boom. Jeez.
So like, she's never optimized anything.
Yeah.
She's literally just slapped up some videos from Instagram that you can see that they're vertical, not horizontal. No banner, nothing, no science, no. Look at her titles, no tags, nothing. 176,000 subscribers. So content is actually more, you know, when we're telling you guys all this stuff and the science, content matters more than anything else.
Yeah, and I guess in terms of channel audits, that's the thing that we just can't to help you with that sort of stuff takes. Well, first of all, the video creator has to just learn a lot of that in their own time and experience in making videos. But it's just, that is something that you just can't. I think a lot of the things that we talk about are a bit more binary. It's like you're either doing it right or you're doing it wrong, or it's like you're 20% of the way there, and if you change this little thing, you'll be 60% of the way there. But with video content, there's just so much that goes into it, and so many variables that. Yeah, and that's the most important thing on YouTube. All right, we were talking along a lot there, so I do apologise. We're going to now take your questions and answers, folks, in the time that we have remaining. So if you have any burning questions remaining in 2018, we want to hear them in the final moments here. The first question is, what earbuds are those from It's Agent H14? I think they're Sony Big Bass phones, from what I can remember. I think I just got them very cheaply, some $30 ones, just so I had something to use. Jeremy, what are your earphones that you're using?
I've got some just off-brand, like China style $30 headphones.
Yeah, so no expense spared there on the audio equipment that we use here at vidIQ. Froster GH, how can I adjust my content to appeal to a larger audience outside of my niche, outside of a niche that my content appeals to? Well, I think first of all, the question might be, have you capitalized on your niche yet? I mean, if you're a gaming channel and you have 200 subscribers, and maybe you haven't really properly identified and connected with your niche yet. I think what a lot of video creators do is they build up an audience within a very specific topic, and then they take that audience on a journey, because by that point the audience is invested in you as a video creator, not just the topic of the content that you are making. Would you agree with that, Jeremy? Any
yeah, in this particular channel, he has 15,000 subscribers.
Okay, right, so he does have an audience.
Yeah, mostly focuses on Guitar Hero style, that guitar thing. So You know, my challenge back to him specifically would be to find more creative ways to do what you do. So maybe branch out to other guitar games. Maybe, you know, find people that you can do collabs to teach. There's some games where it's like you actually learn how to play guitar. Not, you know, there's all kinds of really cool, weird stuff within the genre. So my challenge to you would be to actually find other creative ways to keep people interested in what you do.
Yeah. I'm going to pronounce this completely wrong, so I do apologize. It's Dibutos y Coleras. You're asking, probably because you're not English is not your first language. Do titles work in 2 languages? And I think absolutely yes. You should be translating your titles into other languages if you do have a strong audience from a different background, and you can do that with a vidIQ translate tool, and that would extend itself into the metadata as well. And as I understand it, depending on what your language is set to or browser language, YouTube will automatically change the translations as and when required. Got any questions there, Jeremy, that you can see as I read through our list?
Yeah, I reached 1,000 subscribers a while ago, but I haven't got the community tab yet. Any idea on when I could get it? I don't know. I mean, the community tab's a new thing, and you know, the 1,000 subscriber limitation is a new thing. So I don't know. I have no idea. Typically, YouTube is not fast, you know. So you know, for other things, it's usually like a 6-week type period, so I'm not sure.
YouTube have been saying in Twitter around about a week, but if you're still waiting for it, my advice would be to send them a tweet or use the feedback and help button that you have on YouTube, and if they see it, they should hopefully give you pretty much immediate access to the community tab. Edgy Machine, you're saying we don't want to answer your question. We're looking at the chat now, so if you ask that question again, we will certainly try and answer it in the next few minutes. So Gameit says 94% of my views are from subscribers. How do I fix this? That would suggest to me that, first of all, it's great that your subscribers are coming back to your content, so don't forget that. But it would probably sound to me as if your content is not being shared by YouTube. So maybe you need to work on your metadata, make it more shareable, and increase the watch time so that YouTube sees your content as good content and then wants to share it on browse pages as well, for increasing views from non-subscribers. Dark Gaming 45, what's the best advice to a gaming channel with 400 subs? The best answer to that is we have a dedicated video on that topic. If you just search how to start a gaming channel, I believe we're still the highest ranked video on that topic, so check it out. There's lots of good stuff in that one. What else have we got?
I keep on getting copyright notices. Cursing Bo says stop uploading other people's content.
Yeah, pretty much. We can't really help you beyond that. I mean, if you have a legitimate beef, if you do think it's incorrect, then yeah, absolutely challenge it. But if you're getting copyright strikes, there's a reason for that. I think Jeremy and I are both looking down the questions here. We're both in silence. Still waiting for that Edgy Machine. So we just answered the question, whatever that is. So that was awesome. Is
selling your own products on your YouTube channel a good idea?
I absolutely, yeah. I think if your ultimate aim is to make a business and a sustainable income from YouTube, then yeah, definitely. I mean, if you look at somebody like Tim Schmoy, for example, he is an awesome video creator, YouTube expert. And he gives lots of free advice, but if you look at the videos, he's always including how you can gain more from investing in him as an expert and a consultant, and through the products that he buys. But you have to remember that people first of all come to YouTube for an answer, and you have to build that trust and build a relationship with your audience before you do the sales pitch. If you've done a sales pitch straight away, then people are just going to move on to other content immediately. Any further thoughts there, Jeremy? Or do you think
I mean, I think if you don't make a living, it's going to be hard to live. So you know, I'm a big believer in monetizing your relationships, but having relationships is a starting point.
Absolutely.
You have to have an actual relationship. You can't just sell people, you know. In 2019, you have to meet a need people want, and you have to develop a product or service that people want. And you can't just be a Me Too product that everyone else is doing the same thing. If you fill a need and you do it better than others, and you build a relationship before you start trying to sell people, you give them value or entertainment, then you'll probably be successful long term. But it's not winning the lottery. It takes a long time, and you have to be patient.
Austin says, is there a place to look at copyright laws on YouTube? I think if you just Google YouTube copyright guys, there is a dedicated page about it, and you'll also be able to get into the support pages there. There's tons of stuff on the subject of copyright. And I think there was one more question here that I wanted to answer. Andrew Walker says, you might have already answered this. I don't think we have. What is the fastest way to grow your subscribers? And I think it harks back to what we've just been talking about, is that you need to build some sort of trust and a relationship on a personal level with your audience. That means talking to your audience directly. That can be easy to do with vlogs and family channels, where it's all about the people and it's all about stories. It can be a lot harder to do with how-to and educational channels, because people are just looking for an answer usually. I think what I've been trying a little bit more in vidIQ's videos, and it seems to have been successful again, certainly with the PewDiePie stuff, is that I've been just adding little bits of humor here and there. So 90% of the content is about the story, but then I'm just adding something that almost like attention interrupts. We're going from the serious to something a little bit comical, and then I'm including a little more bloopers and things, and I think people are starting to really relate to that more in terms of that. Any more questions there, Jeremy, before we say goodbye?
Yeah, I think it's time to go.
It
Rob,
is, yeah.
go get some sleep.
Thank you very much.
Everyone have good holidays.
Yeah, XRaw was just asking, do vidIQ do private channel audits? We don't do private channel audits yet. Stay tuned in 2019 though. We do know that it's such a valuable service and people love these live streams, and we want to find a way to better serve the audience in that way. But if you just if I just check how many people have filled out an audit today, we've had 30 submissions. We usually have about 100 submissions per live stream, yeah. And we just can't we can't fill them all. We'd love to, and I guess the answer is there's so many. There is a bit of an art and a skill to how to audit a channel, and there's just not that many people who are good. I mean, I feel as if Jeremy and myself are certainly adequate at doing it. Leron is an absolute wizard at it, but yeah, it requires the right people to do it, and then the time to do it, because each audit can sometimes take a proper audit can take maybe 30 minutes to an hour to do for channels. Anyway, sorry, I was blathering on there. Yeah, stay tuned in 2019. Jeremy, you've been with me on these live streams for the best part of the year. It's been an absolute honor.
Likewise.
We're getting helping. We probably audited at least 250 channels with our live streams, and we're looking forward to doing more of the same next year, as well as enhancing our live streams. This has been one of the let's say more put together live streams at the last minute because of all the traveling that's going on at the last minute, but rest assured we will be working hard next year to make this even better and to help you even more with our live stream. So yeah, folks, if you do want to say goodbye now, we are leaving the vidIQ live streams for this year. As we said earlier, it is at Christmas and New Year's on the following 2 Tuesdays, so we will be taking a break from live streams, and we'll be looking to get back in 2019 refreshed. And no doubt the first topic will be New Year's and YouTube resolutions in 2019. So goodbye to Super Rizzo Gamer 44, Abdi M, Is It Agent H14, Chris McCoog, Boylan's Happily Ever After, Pegasus Angel Gameplay, ARS Analog, Mr. Gaming. All of you, enjoy the rest of your video making day and the rest of 2018. Bye.